quick part of the live stream?
Do what?
Is your guys' Mitsuki rant quick part of the live stream?
No. It's at least half an hour, probably
And
way
we didn't
longer.
even say everything. I feel like we just abbreviated because we've been complaining. Because the last 2 chapters,
Okay,
we've
so
been
I'm curious.
complaining in fear, and it just
I just
solidified
want to
it.
know one thing, only one thing. What part of the first beginning parts of the chapter, like what's the worst thing that happens in this chapter in regards to Mitsuki?
Bro just gets one
What
shot.
is
His
the-
stage mode's useless. He's not
That's
strong at all.
That's always
For
okay.
me,
So
it's
your
this
problem
in
is that he
particular.
can't maintain sage mode.
Yeah.
No, my problem is that all of the stage mode is useless. All he does is send out ethereal snakes that do nothing and gets one shot. He doesn't do a single speed blitz fast thing. He doesn't do anything that he doesn't do anything.
Unfortunately,
he's useless.
This has always been the case.
But this is the one time they could have finally undone all their wrongs for so long and just looked at the anime.
Actually, Sarah,
Academy base Mitsuki
so
is more impressive than Part 2 Sage Mitsuki. That doesn't make sense.
So, Sauron, what you just said, it's always been the case. That doesn't make it better. That only makes it worse. Doesn't that just mean it's more important now than ever to get it right for once?
No, I was gonna say that Mitsuki's just clumsily written, even more so in the manga. But
which is why it's more urgent than ever.
Wrong in the anime.
They have to fix it ASAP.
So, I mean, he did get stabbed by 3 things. That's pretty substantial.
Bro, he should have been just fine. He shouldn't have been hit in the first place. He should have just died.
And getting stabbed
is Mitsuki.
He wasn't stabbed. He was hit. Those aren't spikes. And he wasn't hit. His Sage mode aura was hit. And for some reason, he just got hit.
Wait, what? You don't think these are stabs?
No, I think these look like hits to me.
Where's Mitsuki's stab wounds on any panel?
Go down? I thought these were stabs. Are they not coming out of him?
I mean, it looks like there's blood. Aside from that,
smacked him. The same thing they did to Araya.
Yeah, I mean, here you would have seen stab wounds, right?
You see blood.
It did look like stabs to me. I guess it wasn't.
It's the same thing as Araya. I guess
panel not look like stabs. Like the first panel, does it not look like stabs? But I guess you're right, it's not.
But then again, Mitsuki's snakes look like they're gonna bite Ryu, but then all they do is headbutt him.
Does that not look like it's going through him?
It definitely doesn't look like it's going through him, but
it looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like the Iron Stand's biting him like his own snakes were doing. If
that would have been
closely, they look like snakes.
Loki, that's my rewrite.
It does look like that.
So Ryu should have seen how Mitsuki was fighting and adapted. Specifically, that's how you rewrite it. Mitsuki is just dominating, fodderizing Ryu, and Ryu, because he's the innocent cub who's adapting, he adapts and becomes infinitely stronger because of that. There you go.
I don't like that. But I was going to say, so your worst problem is simply Mitsuki got hit and couldn't maintain his stage mode?
It's that Mitsuki's stage mode might as well have never been there. It didn't. Base Mitsuki should perform equally as good as Sage Mitsuki did in this fight. Sage Mitsuki does not appear substantially stronger than base Sarda, base Araya, or base Yodo. Whereas we already know that base Mitsuki should be at least as strong as all of them. Then he's got the super powerful Ultra Mocha, one of our nonsense world-ending Sage mode amp on top of that. So he should be very much stronger than everyone else here.
So you're saying based on what we've seen of base Mitsuki, he should be able to replicate what he did against Ryu here?
Yeah.
Considering that everyone else in the crew can keep up, yeah.
You don't think that what puts Mitsuki relative
Bro,
to
base
Sarada
Mitsuki
is
in
the
part
stage
1
mode?
is Sharingan Sarada level. It's Sharingan Sarada without the Mangekyo is contributing just as much as Sage Mitsuki.
He's weaker than her.
No, he's way stronger.
Not. Not in the anime.
I'd say he's stronger.
No, yeah, he is
Sarada's
stronger
definitely stronger than him by the end. Sarada was definitely stronger than him.
By what point?
No.
Even at the beginning of the Code arc, Kawaki's taken her out, and then Mitsuki's taken Kawaki out in the training.
Yeah, Mitsuki is the only one Kawaki didn't beat.
She didn't have her Sharingan
Bruh.
She was the thing that makes her being able to like keep up and like be able to predict. She didn't have her Sharingan on.
Okay, well.
I mean, there's also other
that was
scenes
just another example of people not having
it's continuously shown to us that like Mitsuki just is always been a little bit better than everyone. Or even you have the tuning exams. Sarada's going up against Chocho, and it's Mitsuki versus Boruto. I'm sorry, bro. That's just putting. We all know Boruto is definitively at least a little bit better than Sarada too. It's just they are on a little bit higher tier.
Bro, let me put it
Sarada
this way.
is the weakest link.
Something I didn't say earlier. So obviously in the tuning exam, Shinki was obviously the strongest one there, to the point that Boruto the genius had to use purple lightning to win.
So Shinki was looking at Mitsuki like, yeah, I know you're better than everyone else.
It just was better than Shinki. Mitsuki was beating Shinki. Shinki had to use his strongest move, trump card, ace in the hole, to beat Mitsuki. Without that, he just loses.
I don't disagree.
Honestly, no. Mitsuki 1v1 does better than Boruto and Sarada 2v1.
Yeah!
So I don't disagree that Mitsuki was stronger in the tuning exams, but after the Deepa arc, where they get active training and he does not, they get closer to him. And then
they get closer! They don't surpass him!
No, and then Sarada gets her Sharingan development and then also gains a Chidori. And while Mitsuki is staying absolutely stagnant.
And he's still better than them. Or at the very least equal.
In what capacity by that point is he better than them? I just don't see it.
You just look at everything he does. He just always does better. At the very least, you would say they're equal. Nothing, absolutely nothing puts them on a higher level. Mitsuki literally ties with Boruto seemingly in their tuning exams fight, for example. That's not putting Boruto over Mitsuki.
Bro, Boruto and Sarada are just, at no point in part 1 are Boruto and Sarada keeping up with the adults around them. Mitsuki from the beginning was.
Yeah, they had to catch up to him.
They didn't.
I don't... But you're saying that they didn't based off not really anything. You're just saying that they didn't. I mean,
what even implies that they did? Because you would have to start
because you're doing the same thing.
They weren't there before. You need to give me a reason why they are there later.
Didn't you just say that they all performed pretty relative feats, which means they did catch up to him? Like, even if you want to go
at best,
like, so I don't really like to do this because it is a bit of a whimsical thing, but if you look at Sage Mode Mitsuki's attack against Deepa and what it did to him and what Sarada's actual attack did against Deepa when she uses her full force punch, she does more damage than Mitsuki did. Like, she actually cracks Deepa's armor. The most Mitsuki was able to do was to push him and make him steam. It also does substantial more damage than Boruto's Rasengan did on Deepa's armor too. So her punches are performing higher levels of damage than Boruto's base Rasengan. Like, her punches are. Like, I don't get the idea that Sarada's the weakest link.
Well, the problem though is you're taking Sarada's strongest attack It's
But
just
it's no
saying,
longer
oh,
her
this.
strongest
Okay,
attack
but
because she
Mitsuki
then
is
gained the
way
Chidori.
more versatile. It's slippery and fast and sneaky and ninja-like. It just doesn't get hit by Sarada. He just does bendy-wendy arm, catches it like he did the Kawaki's gigantic arm blade thing in Chapter 58.
No, I'm saying that it's no longer her strongest attack because she then gains a Chidori. So she
Well,
has an
they're just
even
two
more
different types of
powerful attack
attacks.
beyond that now.
But even then, though,
So
again,
like,
what
if they were to
implies that
clash
Mitsuki
jutsu,
would
if they were
ever
able to,
have to worry about this?
if they clash jutsu, she overwhelms him based off everything they've shown.
I do not think Sarda's overwhelming Sage are heavy lightning, whatever it's called, Great Snake Lightning. She's just gonna get blown up. She's not even gonna land in the Chidori. She's just gonna get blown backwards like
I'm talking
Deepa.
about base Mitsuki. Which is who we're talking about. We're talking about
Mitsuki
base
has
Mitsuki.
purple lightning, Saran. You know the jutsu that Kakashi used, the improved, better lightning style jutsu, the one that Boruto spams into Blue Vortex? Mitsuki has that.
I don't know why you're hyping up Sarada's Chidori.
You know the one that was getting too shallow of a hit for
that purple
Hidari
lightning that
and
the anime
Ryu? It's done nothing.
That purple lightning that the anime removed and the manga doesn't acknowledge, I don't give him that jutsu at all.
It's canon. He has it.
That he's been using since the beginning?
He only used it once, didn't he? In the manga? He only used it that one time, and then it's never acknowledged ever again. He doesn't use it ever again. And the anime removed it.
Wait, Saran, you're not making this better. You're just proving our point that Boruto's bad.
Okay.
Because in the manga, Mitsuki had this ability.
Also, to be clear,
he was stronger.
Chidori is stronger than Purple Lightning.
No.
Purple Lightning is just more versatile. Chidori is stronger
Prove
than
that
Purple
Chidori
Lightning.
is stronger. Not Lightning Blade, but Chidori is stronger than Purple Lightning. I don't think so.
Is that not a thing that was stated in one of the novels? I'd have
the
to
novels definitely did not say that that Chidori is stronger than Purple Lightning.
I'm pretty sure the distinction that was made is that Purple Lightning may be weaker, but it is more versatile.
I think it was just, this was Kakashi's way of not having to use Chidori anymore.
But, I don't know, I find the Sarada downplay to be weird.
I mean, let's just put it this way. Do you think Sarada's Chidori was going to blow up Shinky's giant iron sand thing? No. The Purple Lightning did.
Shinky's lightning what?
In the anime, Purple Lightning beat Shinky, not Chidori.
We don't know how Chidori would work on his...
well, we do, because of how bad it did against Ryu.
What was I gonna say? I lost it. Oh, crap.
What are you looking for, Oodie?
It is 6 o'clock.
I give up on finding it. I don't care anymore.
Well, what is it?
The statement that Killer B says that you improve greatly through real combat experience. He says it to Casey in Naruto.
Oh.
I think when traveling to the battlefield in the war. Cannot find it for the life of me, so... I was looking for it because Sauron said that Mitsuki was staying stagnant, whereas Boruto and Sarada were catching up to him against Deepa. Yeah, okay, bro. As if we would take that anyways.
Even when Mitsuki comes back, you can just clearly tell that Deepa's annoyed because Mitsuki is better than them.
But what I mean by that is, in terms of like growing your arsenal, Mitsuki was stagnant while they were growing their arsenals.
You know what Sasuke tells Naruto?
I think in the anime you see him learn new things.
10 times 0 is still 0.
I don't think you actually see Mitsuki learn anything
Well, I'll be honest,
in
Sauron.
the
It doesn't
anime.
matter if Mitsuki learns anything when he already knows like 1,000 different jutsus. Boruto and Sarada know like 5. Mitsuki doesn't need to learn more.
5?
Yeah, he just needs to improve. He's already
Sarada
strong.
definitely has more than 5 jutsu. I think the wiki would tell you that.
Okay, I'm not gonna count variants of the same jutsu that are like 2% different.
Okay, but that a lot of Mitsuki's jutsus are just different variations of the same thing then. So why'd you say that?
Whatever. As if Mitsuki doesn't have infinite more arsenal than both of them combined.
No,
he just is more versatile in every way. Like,
no, I don't disagree. He's definitely more versatile. I just don't agree with the idea. If you're asking,
well, he's not in Two Blue Vortex.
Like, if you're saying that, like, can Mitsuki, is he more versatile than Sarada? I don't disagree with that. I just don't think that he was stronger than her in base in part 1.
He's only shown himself to be better.
I just no.
Go to chapter 58. Mitsuki objectively does the best.
Okay, what happens in that chapter? Is Kawaki like speeds?
Mitsuki blocks Kawaki's off-guard attack, dodges his off-guard. Kawaki just moves on. He's like, yeah, you're good. Mitsuki, like, again, off-guard. Meanwhile, Kawaki just beats Sarada in base forward, though, straight up.
He
on guard.
He beats a Sarada who wasn't using her Sharingan.
Her Sharingan wouldn't have helped. She got outplayed. The Sharingan wouldn't have done anything there.
Part of the thing that made it so boring.
She used a smoke bomb.
Wait,
she just lost.
What would that even do? If she has her Sharingan on, what does that even do if you have a smoke bomb?
The thing is, she just like
smoke bomb.
I don't remember I don't even remember actually what he does, but like regardless.
Well, no, I do remember. It was a shadow clone. It wasn't stats. It was ninja tactics. She just got outsmarted. She was just bad.
That's what I was saying. Like, he just outplayed her. That she's looking the other way. The Sharingan wasn't gonna help her in that fight. She just got outsmarted. Period. Boruto just got overpowered.
And that's Kawaki using ninja tactics, his weakness.
And Mitsuki's a lot better at those.
That scene comes off a lot worse in the anime because Sarada's not.
It doesn't. Go reread it.
It definitely does because Sarada's smarter than whatever.
She does the same
I don't think so.
thing.
No, Sarada has only proven herself to be the R word in Two Blue Vortex, in my opinion.
Kamui.
Absolute dumbass. The dumbest character besides Hidari runs in the family, clearly.
So Sarada, Kawaki swings at her. She uses fire style. He uses a shield thing.
Because what I was referencing was the manga, not the anime, for that.
Yeah. So the thing where he comes up behind her.
Yeah.
So he uses a shadow clone.
Yeah.
She's paying attention to that. He comes up behind her. If her Sharingan was on, how would it not help her be able to dodge the wrong way? No, she was able to turn back and see that Kawaki was about to injure her.
Okay, but
why would the Sharingan not help in that situation?
Keep up. It doesn't matter. You remember Rock Lee said this. She's gonna turn around. In that she's too late. She already got the sword to her neck. Like she's Kamui. Not reacting. Boruto's saving her before she even does anything.
Exactly. Sorry, you pretend like once you activate your Sharingan, you're just autonomously moving, impervious to attacks coming at you. You can still be hit with the Sharingan. There's nothing preventing that. You're not going to see it coming better.
It's seeing as Kawaki was just beating, especially in the anime, just being better at taijutsu than Boruto, being faster and stronger. He's probably faster and stronger than Sarada, which means she not only has to make up for that in general with her Sharingan, but she's got to somehow do that in a split second as she's turning to face him, where the sword is already at her face at that point. Like, no. It's not gonna help.
So I would agree if she didn't turn around and see that he was about to stab her.
It wasn't that she turned around and saw he was about to stab her. She turned around as the sword was at her face. The sword hits her by the time she realizes she needs to react with the shard.
Sword doesn't ever hit her.
Because Boruto steps in.
Like, it's the most basic scaling of all time, Sauron, if you want to just look even earlier. A 99% fatigued Kawaki is fighting Garo, who Konohamaru, who's stronger than Sarada, is scared of.
What'd you say?
Bro.
What'd you say?
Fatigued Kawaki beat Garo. Well, I guess he doesn't beat him without karma, but he's fighting Garo, who Konohamaru is scared of. And he's a Kara outer who should be relative to as an outer, and Konohamaru got bodied by Ao.
Konohamaru was wary. Oh my gosh. Konohamaru got caught off guard by something that came out of Ao's little thing.
He was getting bodied by Ao.
Oh my god.
No.
Sauron, you're not going to make the case that Konohamaru was relative to Ao. You're just not going to do that. It's so clear.
I don't want to use. It's fine. We're okay.
Ao was
I don't need
so
to
much
do that.
stronger. He just was.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. It's 6 o'clock.
Bro, that Kawaki just is stronger than Konohamaru. Sorry.
Sauron, okay, just answer me this. At what point do you think Sarada and or Boruto, if you want to answer this separately, when do you think they catch up to Mitsuki and or surpass him in base?
Catch up to Mitsuki and or surpass him in base?
And if it's different in the anime or manga, feel free to answer separately. Whatever you want to answer. However you want to answer. Just win.
Oh wait, this is the only thing that happens between the two of them? Okay, so all Mitsuki did was react to, like, a Kawaki attack. Sarada also does the same thing. Off guard?
He did what Boruto couldn't do on guard.
You know, the thing that actually makes ninjas ninja, like, in my opinion, the single most important thing about being a ninja? That.
It was off guard, but they are looking directly at each other.
Mitsuki looks at him after Kawaki starts to, like, it's still up, and I don't even care if they are looking
I don't
at
disagree that it's off guard, but, like, they're looking directly at each other.
Sauron, Jubi Madara was looking straight at Zetsuified Obito as well.
Like, Mitsuki was looking directly at Kawaki. Kawaki moves. Yeah, he didn't think that Kawaki's going to attack him, but I mean, he's looking directly at him before he makes his strike. I mean,
Sarada can't react while fighting. Boruto can't react while fighting. It's not making them look better at the very least.
No, what I'm saying is where you're using a feat that, like, Mitsuki was able to react to Kawaki, Sarada wasn't able to. She was, just not when she got caught off guard because of the diversion.
Because of shinobi tactics. The thing. Kawaki tried to do that to Mitsuki too, and it didn't work.
Mitsuki and Kawaki don't have prolonged enough exchanges. Maybe
because Kawaki's body was clearly that dude.
Because Kawaki couldn't exchange long enough with Mitsuki. Yeah, you know who else doesn't have a long exchange? Rock Lee and Sasuke in their first fight. You want to know why? I don't even need to say it.
Mitsuki just is that guy. It's why Kawaki moved on. It's why he complimented Mitsuki, unlike Boruto and Sarada, who he dissed on.
It's like, the point of training in this way is to get stronger. He stopped training with Mitsuki because he said he's good. What does that mean based on what Kawaki had just said? In comparison, by the way, to Boruto and Sarada. And it's like Boruto and Sarada are good directly after saying the point of the training is to get stronger.
Not only that, you go to the prophecy arc, bro. Kawaki casually walked up to Sarada, and she couldn't react without Boruto saving her. So I want to point that out.
That is
walking
a stronger
Sarada,
Kawaki,
like this
but...
is just like freaking Sasuke walking behind Danzo. Just Kawaki walking up to Sarada. She just couldn't react.
Meanwhile, Mitsuki comes up and just immediately wraps up Kawaki, unable to move.
Like, even here, like, she reacts to him just fine, just like Mitsuki did. I mean, I don't really... kind of whatever.
I'm talking about prophecy arc. I don't know what you're talking about. She did not react. Prophecy arc.
Yeah, and
Boruto jumped in front, got his eyes slashed because she was even
she was even surprised that he was coming at her. So it was just like, very similar to the Mitsuki thing. They both react, but
you're not talking about the scene I'm talking about. That's for sure.
Oh, if you're talking about the ones, that's a strong. Whatever. That's a strong Kawaki. I don't care about that.
So what?
Oh my god.
The stronger Kawaki, I don't care to argue though.
Bro, he's walking. He's walking.
Yeah, but it's the strike that matters.
Bro, she had like 10 minutes to prepare for as he's walking towards her.
Don't say things.
That shotgun sure ain't helping her very much.
Yeah, don't say weird things in a debate over voice chat. Oh my god.
Anyway, Saran, no matter what, let's just give you the benefit of the doubt, and you want to say, oh, they're slightly stronger than Mitsuki. Do you realize how many leaps and bounds stronger Sage Mode makes him before Cupid Vortex? It's a lot.
Oh, okay, so let's go.
Pre-Academy Mitsuki, Speed Blitzing, or Boruto era Orochimaru. You know, the guy that Naruto wants to ensure he's in Sage Mode against when he's near, when he goes to that same Sage Mode to fight Kara Inner Code, the strongest inner member of Kara besides Shigen Code. Yeah, that's Sage Mode Naruto. He's doing the same thing. Yeah, so Mitsuki's pre-Academy Mitsuki's
I'm sorry, Saran. If you want to use the anime, then at the beginning of the series, Mitsuki's keeping up with Shino with like the most minimal amount of Sage Mode possible. Meanwhile, like midway through, like the Deepa arc towards the end, whatever, Sasuke saying that like Sarada was even stronger than him back in the day. I'm sorry, but kid Sasuke isn't keeping up with Jonin adult Shino. Not even close.
He used the Sage Mode without the horn.
He barely
He didn't use the horn marking face Sage Mode.
He used the slightest flare.
Sage Mode. You know that Sage Mitsuki did have a prolonged fight with Shino.
Yeah.
He didn't use the full power.
He just didn't use the full thing.
That's what I'm saying. It was practically base.
It wasn't practically based at all.
Bro.
What?
Mitsuki is bodying the same character that Jogan Boruto is fighting. You know Jogan Boruto, the guy who dodges and counters fused Momoshiki?
He used the Sage Mode that he used oh my freaking goodness, I'm dying of tiredness. But he used the Sage. He used this.
Saran, we can go ahead and just power scale how little this Sage Mode is. So, an even younger, weaker Mitsuki, Speed Blitz Boruto era Orochimaru. I shouldn't have to discuss why Boruto era Orochimaru is a lot stronger than Shino. As we know, Mitsuki had like a prolonged fight, as you said, with Shino. If he's not doing the Speed Blitz Orochimaru level of power. Because otherwise he would just one-shot Shino. So he's clearly not using that much of the power. He's using
the first form Sage Mode, where he gets access to like the elongated snakes and whatnot. And
bro, stop
it. What do you mean stop?
It slightly.
No, what? Okay.
Bro,
Why is it
I
the
don't care
Crunchyroll
what
working?
form you use. It is
Oh
just
wait, hold on.
substantially to a very large
It is
degree,
weaker.
nowhere near the full power that he's using against Ryu.
It's just Ood saying he used like the slightest flare is just wrong.
Keep in mind,
that.
Sauron.
Bro, 10%, I don't care.
This is after having fought with Shino for a decent amount of time. Okay, if you're gonna say that Sarada looking in Kawaki's direction one time apparently makes her relative to Kawaki, then Mitsuki actually fighting with Shino for a prolonged period of time in base does make him relative to Shino.
Yeah, Mitsuki in his first form Sage mode was relative to Shino.
No, even before Sage mode, he's fighting Shino for a while.
Oh, Shino was holding back. He literally says, I have to get serious now once he starts using his first form Sage mode. And even then, he held back his bugs because he didn't want to kill Mitsuki.
But we know that, that either means Shino's capping or that Sage mode form he's using is insanely weak compared to the full power, like 10% of it, because we know for a fact, because Konohamaru is stronger than Shino. He's the one of two exceptions of the rule, whatever nonsense. Konohamaru's getting bodied by Victor. Orochimaru's not even trying as he's bodying Victor. A pre-academy Mitsuki is speed blitzing the shit out of Orochimaru. Like, this is several tiers beyond Shino. Clearly, whatever he used for Sage mode is negligible compared to the amount he's using against Ryu.
No, I don't disagree. I just don't know why you're saying it's basically base. I don't understand saying that. No, if he goes from being relative to
Shino to being relative to Shino.
No, if he goes from being base, being relative to a Shino who wasn't trying at all, to then being relative to a Shino who's actually trying, then that is a jump.
You can't say he just wasn't trying at all as if he wasn't trying to win.
What does it happen? Episode 36? My stomach hurts, bro. I'm not having a good time.
Like, Sauron, you can't just pretend like Sage Mode Mitsuki going into Boruto at the beginning of the series isn't top 3 of the verse. And we don't know where in the top 3 he would lie, but he is definitively top 3 already.
Top 3 in the verse?
Yeah, you have Naruto, Sasuke, and Mitsuki, and we don't know where that ranking is. Mitsuki might be stronger than them, he might be weaker. But he's definitely top 3.
Like at the beginning of the series?
When he has Sage Mode. So, yeah.
Mind you, Urashiki wasn't afraid of any of the Kage that were beating up Kinshiki, the guy who was going 1v1 or relatively equal, in fact, beating Sasuke to an extent. Urashiki's just doesn't give a shit about them. He sees Mitsuki's Sage power and he's like, oh yeah, that's dangerous. I ain't letting you use that.
Mitsuki didn't even get a chance to use it all. It's just like the small flare like he used against Shino, and Urashiki's already taken it away.
Yeah, so Shino says it seems I have to get a bit more serious. Just a bit more.
Oh, yeah, but we know he's capped. Like, again, either Mitsuki barely used the Sage power, or Shino's capping.
No, he just only used his first form Sage mode. That's just
he didn't use his first form Sage mode. He used a quarter of his first form Sage mode.
Okay, Sauron, even if that's what he says, a bit more serious, that doesn't change anything if we don't know how serious he is before. If he's 90% serious and he's a bit more serious, now he's 95% serious. Okay.
It's so clearly not what he means, though, but sure.
How is it so clearly not what he means? Give me your interpretation, then, and why that's the obvious only interpretation.
Okay. It's quite late, so I'll just say this. Am I satisfied with Sage Mode Mitsuki's, what's it called?
Performance?
No, I'm not satisfied with his performance. and what the abilities he seems to be able to use. My only thing that I was arguing is that Sarada was substantially weaker than Boruto and Mitsuki. That's all I care about.
I didn't say substantially. I just said that she was weaker.
I didn't.
Not substantially, just a tiny bit.
Oh. I disagree. But
well, even if you're okay, oh, sorry. Let's just get to the important part. Even if you think they're relative, even if you think she's slightly stronger, we've already discussed how astronomical his full-powered stage mode amp should be. Yet we can't tell because he's still a relative to that same base Sarada.
The problem is Sarada's Mangekyo is just going to have to be stronger than Mitsuki's Sage Mode with the story working going forwards.
Yeah. My only issue with the Sage Mode Mitsuki thing was just simply the only feat he has back in part 1 is pushing back Deepa. And he
completely speed blitzed Deepa, who is speed blitzing characters who speed blitz these characters. Like Deepa's actually really fucking fast. Deepa has an insane absolute defense that required very particular abilities to even do something against. Mitsuki's ability isn't one of them. But as far as speed goes, what he did is insane. The fact that he even made Deepa steam despite his defense is actually kind of wild. But ignoring that, just the speed alone is like, where did that go? Why doesn't Mitsuki seem any faster than base Sarada right now? Oh, he seems 1% faster. No, he should be astronomically leaps and bounds. It should be like Jura compared to them. Like, he should be noticeably way better. He's not.
You also can't use the Boro fight, considering she's the only one not fighting in comparison to everyone else, considering she has to watch the fight with the Sharingan the whole time. Freaking Mitsuki, Boruto, and Kawaki are all actually fighting Boro. Sarada barely does anything in comparison. The only thing she does is she just says Boro is surprisingly slow, so then her dodging Boro isn't impressive.
And also, when she's doing her Sarada Chidori thing, that's specifically her doing the Chidori run-up. And second, Boruto just does the freaking turnaround immediately, sees her, and immediately reacts in time. Like, he's able to dodge Chidori
easily, yeah,
just without even being ready for it in the first place.
Yeah.
So if Sarada was attacking Boro there, he would have just dodged.
Why did this get brought up?
Because Sarada's Chidori doesn't matter.
No, but we're on the topic of Sage Mode Mitsuki now.
Yeah, why does Sarada using Chidori seem comparable, if not better, than Sage Mitsuki here?
Also, you are conflating what a anime did with what the manga did, but
I don't care what either one did. It doesn't matter.
Why are you even mentioning Deepa then?
No, but we're on a different topic now.
But the whole overarching conversation is about Sarada's strength in comparison to Mitsuki's strength.
No.
Let alone Araya and Yodo.
So the Sarada speed thing, she might just be faster with her Chidori in the manga than she is in the anime with her Chidori. Because in the manga, she just like runs up to Boro and then just rips his core out.
But he's also off guard via a distraction anyway. That's the plan in the first place.
And that's not the case though, because he isn't trying to dodge out of the way because he's overly relying on his scientific ninja tech. He does react to Sarada. He does the hand sign to move his core. He's not expecting Sarada to know that, and Sarada goes to where the core is moving to.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
The whole reason he lost, that's his flaw. He would have dodged if he had the idea. He could have. He just chose not to.
No, he says she's literally too fast.
Okay, bro.
What do you mean, okay?
Either way,
so Boro
is surprisingly slow. That's not a speed feat.
Like, no,
catching him
but
off guard, catching a slow guy off guard and having him not react means
okay,
nothing.
but like none of this like matters in regards to what you just said, which was just wrong.
Not
He
wrong.
he literally says pervade. He literally says verbatim. She's simply too slow. I mean, she's simply
Yeah.
too fast for him to
Yeah,
do
you
there
said
you
anything.
go.
She's simply too fast for him to do anything, and there's no like
What
Boruto
does he
dodging
say
her.
verbatim? Because that's not what he says verbatim. He
I think he
says
just says she's fast.
he's fast. That doesn't mean anything.
No,
I'm gonna check right now.
I'll put the panels in general. Boom. This is the entire sequence.
Yeah, okay. This is literally from Sarada's perspective. There is just but one. A jutsu that can pierce his core, whether he notices my aim or not. So immediately, like Sarada's pondering this just being off guard, first of all. But the point is that Chidori isn't faster than him. It's faster than weaving signs, which is the entire narrative going on here.
Yeah. But regardless.
Oh, by the way, Mitsuki's reacting in that panel. Just started running.
Yeah, he sees the flash.
He reacted.
Okay, he can see lightning blistering all over the place. I mean, that's not really much of anything, is it?
Well, you're putting so much emphasis on Sarada looking at Kawaki in a different scene, so this is the same thing.
Sure. But yeah, so it could just be that like in the manga, the Chidori is meant to give her higher speeds than the anime does, but I don't know. I do agree with you because especially because of how like fast Changeman Mitsuki's travel speed was when he was fighting Boruto. It's kind of bizarre that like none of that's really in here.
Yeah, bro, Boruto like flew away from the village and Mitsuki just ran there instantly.
So that's what I was going to say before I couldn't finish what I was saying, and then you guys went back to over here. But I was just going to say, Mitsuki Sage Mode was shown to be very fast when fighting Boruto, but he does, oddly enough, seem comparable to Speed when he is fighting in this fight in particular. To Sarada. Which is the problem. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Like, it's not necessarily a problem if Boruto is just stronger than Sage Mitsuki, because Boruto is just crazy strong. It's a problem when Sarada is put in the same sentence as Sage Mitsuki in base mind. You're not even Sharingan, and then now we're gonna give her the Mangekyo Sharingan, where she's just gonna be better.
Forget Araya.
Like, no, I'm sorry. Sarada's Mangekyo, you should be grasping at straws to put that into the same argument as being Sage Mitsuki level, in my opinion. Sage Mitsuki should still be better.
Yeah, why is Araya performing as well as Sage Mitsuki? Sage Mitsuki, who was blitzing Orochimaru before entering the academy.
Like, Araya shouldn't even be Orochimaru level, nor should Sarada.
Oh, Sarada can be stronger than Orochimaru. I don't have an issue with that at all.
I got problems with that, bro. Orochimaru's easily bodying current inners, no problem.
If you want to say with the Mangekyo, that's one thing because we don't know how powerful she is.
He bodied the weakest inner, but
why should Sarada be Orochimaru level?
No, I don't have an issue with it. Why should she? I mean, why was Itachi stronger than Orochimaru when he was his age? I don't really care about these kids growing really fast in terms of strength. I just don't care that much.
Itachi was stronger when he was like Uchiha Clan Massacre level.
Like,
he wasn't just stronger willy-nilly.
I'm just not gonna care that much about that in particular.
But
My
but
thing
we
is that,
know
like,
how strong
Mitsuki's
Sarada is and her general growth level throughout the series. She's just getting an unrealistic, unfathomable gap in power for no reason. At just some random point.
I do agree she's gotten quite strong. Probably unreasonably so. I just don't care too much.
Okay, well then that's just you not caring in general. If you're agreeing it's unreasonable and you don't care, then that just means you just in general don't care. So you're admitting it's bad, you just don't care regardless.
Mm-hmm.
He did drop the series at one point, like for several chapters.
Didn't he
No.
say he hasn't even read all the chapters?
I didn't start reading the manga again until chapter 18.
Yeah, so you just still haven't read like chapter 14 and all that, I think you were saying last night.
I read the entirety of chapter 14. I just dropped it again afterwards.
Hey, you dropped it. You just don't care.
No wonder
no,
you have a
make you
weird
care more
perception of
if Mitsuki
Sarada.
Seicho made sense.
Yeah, I mean, she's just really strong for some reason, bro. What do you want me to do? Like, as soon as she reacted to Hidari, I was like, oh, you can do that now? Well, you can do that now.
I don't think just
Where
reacting to a
Konohamaru
character
does
alone
it.
is impressive.
No, but yeah, speaking of Konohamaru does it, and you know what Mitsuki was able to do before the series started? One shot Konohamaru. What
But, like,
happened to that?
just for example, so why reacting to a character isn't impressive? Do you remember what happened in Naruto Chapter 700? Boruto reacted to Naruto. Was that impressive?
I'm going to ignore that because that is a false equivalence, but
That
okay.
is not a false
Or
equivalence.
it's completely a false equivalence, and you know
Why?
that
Because
that's
it's
really
different
silly.
characters? What's the point I'm getting at? That one character wasn't going all out, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Alright.